I am sorry for taking our parents and our sins.
Have you ever seen a kid's reaction after hearing a death sentence against him? If you haven't seen it before, watch this video till the end. You will be shocked at how a criminal child reacts after hearing the verdict against him. You know, sometimes these kids show such attitudes that there is no way left in the judge's hand than declaring the death penalty.
Accordingly, it is the judgment of the law and the sentence of the court that for the premeditated murder of Seth Jackson, you, Michael Shane Bargo, are sentenced to death.
At least the victim deserves justice. This is Michael Shane Bargo Jr. He killed a 15-year-old boy named S.E. Jackson. Michael Bargo became a criminal ringleader at 18 years old. He killed the boy in Florida with the help of his friends in 2011. What do you think? Isn't it frightening? I felt frustrated knowing the whole incident. It happened that Michael and his friends induced S.E. to Michael's house. S.E. thought he was going to meet some people, but they beat him to death there. Then, he shot him.
A 15-year-old child knew he was being dragged back into a house and was going to die.
They didn't just leave the boy after killing him. They burned his body. Then, they put the remaining portion of his dead body into a plastic paint container and dumped that under the water. Michael Bargo was the planner and executor of the whole incident.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Michael Shane Bargo Jr., should be sentenced to death. Yes.
Just think about the situation once. But when the death sentence was announced in 2021, he tried to prove himself innocent.
Potentially you are facing the death penalty.
What a heartless he was. Just think. Even he called the entire trial a circus. He didn't have any remorse, at least. However, Michael Bargo's father did not comment after announcing the verdict. S.E.'s family received justice, but the pain of losing child will remain the rest of their lives.
He was not taking any medication for any of the mental illnesses that he had been diagnosed with.
I don't know what I can say about this brutal murder incident. The victim and the murderer were both teenagers. Their lives had just finished before they began.
And had beat him some more and shot him twice in the face.
Let's see the next case. I must say, you will be staggered seeing his smile in front of the judge.
There is no indication that this type of violent behavior will stop.
It's Nicholas Lindsay who killed a policeman and his 16-year-old in 2011 in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Nicholas Lindsay's confession to killing a St. Petersburg police officer in February is admissible in court.
David Crawford, a senior police officer, was on regular call on February 21st, 2011. Then, Lindsay came across and behaved suspiciously. He had a gun with him. Without any reason, he shot Officer Crawford 5 times, left him on the spot dead.
And tonight, his neighbors and friends say they are still reeling from his sudden violent death.
Even the officer didn't have his weapon in his hands, instead a notebook. After a long trial procedure, he was sentenced to lifetime imprisonment in 2016.
Should be appointed that he would qualify for the appointment of the public defender. Do you agree with that?
You will be astonished when his verdict was read off. He was grinning in the court.
16. Are you in school at this time? Where? Okay. You're enrolled or you're attending?
He showed such an indifferent attitude towards the court that it seemed nothing to him. When Lindsay committed that murder, he was only 16 years old. His mother was shocked when she came to know about his crime. It was tragic. He was sentenced to life. However, he did not show any sign before the court to reduce his penalty. Lindsay was sentenced to life after reviewing his case 3 times. Seeing his impenitent behavior in the court, Officer Crawford's daughter said justice served. What can we say here? Parents, society, or systems, whoever we blame.
Thank you for being here and thank you for the courage to make those statements. Okay? Thank you, sir.
These lives will not return, whether they are victims or guilty. In contrast, some sad situations also happen around us. You see this teenage criminal, Nehemiah Griego, who killed his parents and 3 siblings.
I am sorry for taking our parents and our sins.
After the crime was done in January 2013, he felt guilty. Now, he wants all of them back. But that's not possible. He was sad about his actions, but nothing left to get back. Nehemiah's incident shook the whole country.
Good afternoon. Nehemiah Griego, the now 22-year-old who killed his family, was back in court today as he awaits resentencing.
He was a victim of his parents' toxic relationship. A chaotic family life led the kid to take his entire family to death. From a very early age, he was going through a painful family situation. His parents were unaware of his pain. They were busy with their problems. The kid, Nehemiah's mental stability deteriorated over time. Nehemiah's friends and neighbors noticed his behavioral changes.
They are very, very, very high risk for this type of very poor, impulsive, homicidal behavior.
He needed others' help, but there was none to help him. Even social service providers did not try to solve his problem.
Dr. Kent Keel says the gray matter in the brains of homicidal children is not as dense as it should be.
Considering his past, the court sentenced him to life imprisonment. When his verdict was read out, he was fully emotionless. He stared blankly at the empty, totally lifeless. That was heartbreaking. What can you say about this? Can you think about it? Just negligence led a child's life to a non-returnable finishing line.
Griego will be tried as an adult. He's facing 5 charges of first-degree murder and 3 charges of child abuse resulting in death.
I felt sad terribly to see this kid's empty look and indifferent expression through nowhere. Whatever we say, everything is meaningless to the unfortunate situation of this kid. Nehemiah's action pointed to the failure of society and the overall system. He teaches us that we should think about our children first. We are the sole responsible for the guilt of our kids. When a kid commits a severe crime, what mentality works behind his actions?
Today at the status hearing, the prosecutor asked for more time to get witnesses in order.
When they go through the legal procedure, what plays in their minds? Can society deny its role in these teenagers' consequences? When I watched these kids approach, my child's face flashed in my mind. I was afraid about his future. How could I be able to give him a peaceful life? How can I protect my child's life from the evils around society? Are you thinking like me as well? Share your opinion by commenting below.